than just the people in their booths. And a lot of people are doing what you're doing. They're giving a little sample, and that's certainly affordable. Okay, am I leaving anything out about the expo? Now, your website, let's give your website.
Yeah, that is www.outlooksuccess.com.
Okay.
And on that website, it tells about me. It tells the mission and the core values, and a little bit about what coaching is and what it's not. And so they'll get an overview of that as well. And I was so lucky to get that domain name.
Oh,
I just thought that was incredible, so I thought that was kind of a good sign there.
Nobody thought of it.
No, I know. And I actually looked on the government trademarks and patents and things, and nobody has that name.
But the core values is really, you keep coming back to that. That's really the essence, in a way, of success, because you have to have, no matter what you're doing, you got to have integrity about it. You got to know what you're doing.
Yes.
You got to learn your stuff and do it right, and be reliable.
Yes.
You know, and then people will trust you and use your services and make you successful.
Oh, absolutely. And really, Outlook Success Life Coaching to me is about jump-starting your future. That's the other tagline I have, is jump-start your future. And that's really what life coaching is all about. It's just moving you forward. And, you know, because there's nothing you can do to change the past, there's no point in letting it bring you down. You can't effect change tomorrow. You have control over what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess the only thing you could do is let the past motivate you.
Yes.
And if you're motivated, I think that's one of the key things. Because if you don't want to do it, then you just don't really want to do it. I mean, you have
that's
to.
True. Yeah.
You have. That's the bottom line. Is you have to really want what you want, no matter what, and failure, giving up is not an option. Failure, you might fall down, but every time you gotta keep getting back up and keep going.
True. Well, you know, you'll find in most things, passion and drive and desire are key. For example, I used to do ballroom dancing, and I'm not the most talented dancer on earth, but my teacher told me I would rather have somebody like you that has the desire than somebody with the talent and no desire. Because without the desire, the passion, or the drive, you can just forget it, because you won't go anywhere, because you have no desire to do it. And so it's kind of, you know, just setting back and taking a look at your life and thinking, where do I really want to go? And the coach has a coaching presence. You know, they're there to help. They're not there to judge you or sit there and to lecture you on what you should do. They're not there to kind of lead you down a direction. It's something you have to be very mindful of when you are coaching. For example, you know, somebody I'm working with now, a lot of the issues I can identify with so strongly that in one of my sessions I had to really be mindful that I was perhaps experienced what they call in psychology transference issues. I was identifying so much, I felt like I was almost bordering on leading her down certain paths. So I discussed this with my mentor coach, and so we looked at some ways that, you know, okay, in this situation, what are some ways that we can help question this client to come up with her own buy-in? Or her own idea of something. So you have to have buy-in to your own success in your own life.
How much does, or what role does expectation play in the success process?
Well, that's a good question. If you look at the law of creation and the law of attraction, really the law of attraction is the law of creation. We create in us. That's the first step, is to create a very clear desire of what we want. The next part is, as you say, the expectation, and that's the last key to the law of attraction. You have to have, as I guess Jerry and Esther Hicks say, you have to allow it to happen. You have to expect it. But because you have asked for it and you want it, you will now get it. It's that, and that's a hard thing to do sometimes. And
to accept that you will get it.
That you will get it. And
then what are you going to do about it?
Yes, exactly. Now what? But that's the whole point. There's two parts to the law of attraction, and that is to come up with a very definite roadmap, and then to accept it, to expect it, that you've asked for it, you've put it out there, it will come to pass because it is law. You get what you want. And you have to be careful because you can get what you don't want.
Yeah, I took a success class years ago at Volunteer State Community College, and they had a story in there about New Year's resolutions, and people at this party had written them down, their top 10 New Year's resolutions, and the next year they'd put them in envelopes and they were going to open up and say, how many did you get? How many did you get? And they, to their surprise, they got like 90% of their goals they had actually reached. They forgot about what they wrote down, but one of the people had passed away, and so they opened their envelope and they had wrote, since no one in my family has ever lived beyond the age that I will be next year, I expect to die.
Oh,
so,
wow. Yeah, so they accepted that as truth. And yeah, you have to be careful with that. What you believe comes to pass. It's a universal law. A lot of people don't realize that, but it is a law that what you put forth and believe, you accept. That's the same way with illnesses. If you believe that you're unhealthy and that you're going to be sick, then you will be. You will be sick.
Well, we're almost out of time, Mitzi. What is your final thought that you want to leave with potential clients?
That they have control over their own life, that they create what they want, and through their own perseverance and their own design, they can be successful in anything they want.
Well, that's great. Mitzi McCartha, thank you for being our guest on Mystery Us.